Adafruit has been deemed an essential service and business by Executive Order 202.6 to make and distribute personal protective equipment, or PPE, and to manufacture electronics for essential life-saving equipment which is needed in New York and beyond. We have a dedicated email address to contact us about our COVID-19 manufacturing projects, or PPE services, covid19@adafruit.com. We are maintaining limited business operations to assist in providing these valuable services to combat the COVID-19 outbreak. This means we are prioritizing the shipment of essential orders. Your order qualifies as essential if you are working on direct efforts to combat the COVID-19 outbreak or are an essential business or service. This means your order contains electronics, tools, or materials that will be used to manufacture PPE or other medical supplies for healthcare providers or government agencies. Is shipping directly to a medical or healthcare professional? Is shipping directly to an educator who is working to set up online learning due to school closures? Contains microelectronics or semiconductors that will be used in essential manufacturing or research and development. If you are unsure if your order qualifies as essential, or if you are placing an essential order and require a quantity of an item that is greater than the limit displayed on the product page, please contact us directly or email support@adafruit.com. We'll review your message and get back to you as quickly as possible. Placing an essential order with Adafruit is easy and requires only 2 additional steps. After adding all required items to your cart, click Proceed to Checkout and complete steps 1 through 4. Please take a moment at step 5. This is a crucial step when submitting an essential order. If your order is essential, please check here and describe how your order qualifies. Then click Save and Continue to proceed. Please review your entire order, then click Submit Order to complete the checkout process. If you've already placed your essential order but missed step 5, please contact us with your order number and a description of how your order qualifies as essential. Thank you in advance for your important and essential work.
Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, it's me, Lady the Engineer, coming at you, staying safe in your home, save lives. We're going to do this hour of Ask Engineer. We're still going to do all the news in New York City, electronics, Adafruit, more about PP than you probably ever want to know, but now I got to know. And it's coming to you for the next hour. It's a very exciting show.
We're done with PPE. You know me. So one thing, we're going to do a couple show notes and more. We just finished Ask an Engineer, which we do for 1 hour now.
Twice
as long. And we also have show and tells throughout the week with our other shows. Right now, Lady Ada and I are in our apartment. Every day we go to the Adafruit factory. We have gloves, masks. We have all the right sanitary and sanitation protocols. And we have a small number of people that are in the office doing things as well. Adafruit was named as an essential business. We're making and shipping PPE like face shields. We're also manufacturing electronics for some of the ventilator projects you've seen out there and more. So with that being said, I first wanted to start off with saying thank you to all the healthcare professionals out there. This is a couple of doctors that sent us selfies wearing the Adafruit face shields that we have delivered to New York City. We had a material shortage. We're delivering the next round soon, but some doctors have these and they said they work great. They're easy to clean and they're using them. I also want to thank a company out there. This arrived in one of the biggest trucks ever to Adafruit. We have a huge loading dock, but this was about a ton of the plastic that we use for face shields. And this is only possible because of Novalex. They didn't ask me to put this on our show or anything, but I just want to say thank you so much to Novalex. They heard the call. They saw the need.
It's like, we have the plastic.
With Make It Labs and with NYC Makes PPE, we were able to get it here. And it is an enormous amount of plastic that's going to make tens of thousands of face shields for health professionals in New York City. Here you can see Our Lady Ada in Our Lady Ada pose that we do, and of course you have to stand on top of this thing.
You can see how big this roll of plastic is. It's incredibly big and incredibly heavy, and that's good because it means we're going to be able to make a lot of shields out of it.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, oh, what can we do to help? Well, Novalex delivered. So thank you so much, Novalex. You're helping these people, you're helping these people, you're helping a lot more people than I think you'll ever realize. They tweeted back, they're like, hey, our family of 10,000 employees is proud to be part of this effort. Whatever Novalex needs in the future, I will make sure that Adafruit does anything they ever need for the rest of our lives. So thank you so much, Novalex.
And if you need food prep storage, Novalex is your company.
Yeah. Next up. So I did want to do a little bit of news and more. So we are day 22 of Adafruit's operations, mostly being shut down. So before Wednesday of last month, if it was middle of the month, we had already gone down to 50% occupancy. Then we went down to 25%, and we were already mostly working from home. So we already had very few number of people in. This is before the city and state said
we
you
were
had
ahead
to do
of it.
anything.
You were like 40 to 72 hours ahead of everybody.
Then we decided, let's close down the company, and then we'll see if we can resume if it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we were called to be an essential business. But one of the things that I'm really proud of is, and I know it's not going to last forever, and it's going to be devastating when this changes, but for right now, I can say this. We are 20-something days from when Adafruit shut down operations, and none of our team members got ill. None of our team members got tested positive for COVID. We are in high communication with everybody on the team. And if someone did get sick in any way, we would want to know because we'd want to tell the people that they work with.
We have to. We report it.
Yeah, and so I'm really proud of that. I know. Given where we're at in New York City, and people live in all the different boroughs, somehow, some way, something will probably happen. Some of our team members have had friends that passed away. Some are taking care of family members, and that's a very intense experience. But so far, so good. And the people that are working on site, we have very strict protocols, and we'll continue to stick to those. We're able to operate around the clock, so we can have staggered shifts. We have all the PPP for our team members, and we'll continue to share those protocols because eventually everyone's going to have to go back to work. And if we're functioning this way and we're able to do it, I want to share that information. But it's not just a time for protocols. It's also a time to get the word out about stuff. And so Bruce is our designer, been with us for years, one of the most talented designers in the world, I think. So Bruce is working on some posters. This one's not done yet. This is a Fight COVID-19 poster. And then Bruce is also working on this one, Wash Your Hands. And look at this jerk.
Is it like Sparky's little sister or something?
No, this is his bat virus jerk that's messing up everybody right now. But we're gonna
19 written on it.
Yeah, COVID-19.
Yeah,
and we're gonna wash this jerk off our hands. So
Wash it,
we're gonna
scrub
post these
it.
posters up for people to download and to print them everywhere. And then as we have our protocols that we have, like step 1 when you get to Adafruit, step 2, step 3, and the signs that we have at Adafruit, we're gonna publish those as well.
Yeah. Because
we're gonna have to things are gonna change, but maybe we can help each other about what it means to go back to work one day too.
That's right.
Lady,
do it the right way.
Lady and I are doing emergency orders. Our team is manufacturing. If this was Lady Ada there now, she would have a mask and gloves.
This was a while ago.
And this was a while ago. And we've been able to get out tens of thousands of components. We were able to get emergency equipment same day. We were able to get motor controllers for a lot of the motors that people are controlling for the fast track of FDA approved ventilators or trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a lot more of this in our Made in New York City section tonight. Folks are asking us, what can we do? Buy a gift certificate. Because it helps us now, and you can spend it later.
Yeah.
If you like doing IoT stuff, we have a Plus account, IoT Plus, Adafruit IO Plus. If you want to use our IoT service, which is free, but if you want to give us $10, you can. You can also sign up for AdaBox. We have about 50 slots out of 4,000 or 5,000 left. We're not shipping right now, but we will soon. And so this is now the time. And then if you're a business or a company, or if you're someone who's like, if I can only get some of Lady Ada's time to work on this motor controller, if I can only find the best AVR programmer that knows Python, if I can only do this, we only have so much Lady Ada time, and she is working on some mission critical projects. And we're also doing logistics. We're also doing R&D. We're also doing prototyping. You can buy our services, and that's one of the ways that we hope that we can not only keep doing business, but help people, but also prioritize folks. We're also doing 99.9% of everything we do is free. We are paying every person at Adafruit. We've not done any layoffs. We've not done any furloughing. It's painful. I'll say it as a business owner with Lady Ada. Millions of dollars we're paying. And you know what? It's the right thing, and it's helping so many people because their families lost jobs, but the Adafruit job is still there.
And they're staying home safe.
Yeah.
Working from home, skilling up.
So we're going to do this as long as we possibly can. We're a very transparent company. We'll tell you all if we get into a dangerous position where we're thinking of having to let people go or change the business. I promise you we will tell you. And everyone at Adafruit thanks all of you who've stepped up, who've helped, who've offered kind words, who've made an order and said ship it later, who's bought a gift certificate. So thank you, everyone. This is a snapshot from some Friday not too long ago. All right. We've been doing show and tell every week for a decade. We expanded to an hour. It is 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Asking Engineers right now. We're going to talk about JP's show. We do Make a Minute. Kattni has a video that goes over all the things in the world of Python and hardware. Help wanted, time travel, 3D printing, made in New York. We have some new products. If you like PPE, this is the show for you.
Yeah.
We'll answer your questions. We do that on Discord, adafruit.it/Discord.
Join everybody on Discord.
There's probably, I think we're probably up to like 18,000 right now. I haven't checked in a while.
You can't go to your Makerspace or Hackerspace, so come online
go
and
to
join the
this
Cyber one. Open
all
all
that
day.
and more on Ask an Engineer. Okay, so let's kick it off, Lady Ada. There were people on the show and tell,
I would love to go over that.
and they shared a bunch of projects and things.
It was an hour long.
It was delightful.
It was amazing.
All right.
So many people.
Take it
All
away.
right. So we start off with Colin. First off was Kevin from DigiKey. He showed off and talked about his project, DK Strong. He made like 30-foot letters, 30 feet long, I think like 6 feet tall letters in the window of the DigiKey warehouse, facing out into the parking lot, into the entrance. And it has NeoPixels and circuit playgrounds, and each letter is individually controlled, and it's got like rainbows.
Oh.
And we'll show the video.
We're going to show that later in the show.
We'll show the video. They talked about the process of making that, and what they're doing at DigiKey and some of their process that they're going through, because they're an essential business. DigiKey's essential. DigiKey carries almost everything we have at Adafruit. So if you're looking to pick up some Adafruit goodies, and you can't wait, you need it tomorrow, the next day, and you want to also get some DigiKey stuff, go to DigiKey. You can type in Adafruit and the part number, 3333 or 2857, and it'll take you to that page from the search box, and then you can purchase our parts from DigiKey and get them toot sweet to where you are anywhere in the world.
Yeah, one thing to note, soon we'll have a feature on our site that if it's not available on Adafruit, or if we're just not shipping right now because it's not considered essential, there'll be a one-click button that takes you to the DigiKey site for that product on DigiKey.
That's right.
Working on that now. The DigiKey IT staff was able to put together an easy way for us to do this. So that's one of my requests for our design and dev team tomorrow. Things are happening fast.
I know. It's like every hour.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. So thanks to Kevin from DigiKey. He's come by every week and giving us an update from DigiKey. It's really cool to see how they're transforming their company. They're many, many years old, and so it's like they're evolving and they're learning a lot of skills, and being agile and flexible in this new economy, this new reality is really important. It's also a good time to experiment, try new things. Colin came by, showed off I think his uncle or his granduncle gave him a handy 53 component capacitor and resistor substitution box, and he showed it off inside. It's point-to-point wired. It's beautiful. Brent and Noah and Pedro all worked together on a temperature logging armband. We're going to show you the video later. They did a whole guide. Brent was sick. He had a fever, and he was frustrated that he's like, he couldn't log his fever continuously. He had to remember to take his temperature and write it down every few hours, and he was feeling feverish. So if only there was a way to do this automatically. And he's like, hey, I've got the parts to do a temperature armband that measures the temperature and uploads it to Adafruit.io for long-term storage plotting, and you can see how the fever is going. Non Pedro did a beautiful design for the enclosure as well. Phil B has been playing with Little VGL. It's a graphics library for Arduino. He showed it off on some Pi portals and featherings and more. Guide coming soon. Aaron published a guide today, the easiest NeoPixel guide ever. Your first guide to NeoPixels. You've heard of these things. How do you make them glow? You've never programmed before. You've never done electronics before. That's okay. Aaron's going to take you through it. JP showed off the Barbie Clue. It's a clue board that's connected over Bluetooth to 6 temperature probes that can do high temperature measurements and display them all at once. Great for monitoring a lot of temperatures very easily and wirelessly. Non-pager, the armband. Liz is working on a metallophone with a Raspberry Pi. Right now she has one solenoid, but she's going to have more solenoids soon, and then it's going to play some tunes. Keith built a Raspberry Pi DIY laptop for his daughter. It can play audio. It's got a keyboard, and she's learning like Unix and how to like type into a keyboard. It's not for big people. It's only for little people, and it's covered with stickers. Sophie showed off her face shield extender. It's an over-the-top extender to common 3D printed face shield designs. Some doctors want more protection up top because they don't want to be open. So she made a simple plastic add-on that goes with any of the existing designs. It folds in and creates a nice little dome, and you don't even need to use more plastic. If you're using transparency sheets, it comes off of the same sheet of transparency. Carrie made a breadboard switching power supply. It's available on Tindy. You can select from a wide range of inputs like LiPo batteries, USB, DC, whatever, and it outputs clean voltages from 1.8 up to 6 volts, and you can select exactly which volt. Very handy little breadboard tool. Check that out on Tindy. Richard A. Has also been working on face shield design. He's working with a group that got NIH approval for their face shield design. It also has a forehead protector. And he wrote a new guide for CircuitPython powered weather cloud. And we'll show the video and guide for that soon. Trixabella found some time to work on a camper. It's got 200 watts of solar. It's got a battery monitoring system over IoT. He's got plenty of time to work on this camper now, and it looks like a lovely little home in a lovely little garden. Drew had a friend who's making LED beads, and so he designed for them some super skinny PCBs to make it easy for them to craft these beads. Mark is learning robotics and got RPM matching on the 2 wheels of his robot, so 0.1% accuracy. Lars built a Wi-Fi scanner alert that tells him when a Wi-Fi hotspot has shown up for some reason, some nefarious purpose. And he turned into a gigantic project. It rings a doorbell. It has like a REST API. It's so cool and complicated. He learned a lot. Code Minion wrote a NeoPixel GIMP plugin to make animation design easy for cosplayers. Bob made a USB test equipment, 1 to 20 volt power supply, frequency counter, and more for educational purposes. Looks really cool. And Adam came by with a scanning electron microscope and showed off an AMG 8833 thermal camera and how it's designed underneath using the SEM. Super cool. I learned a lot.
All right. All participants on the show and tell will eventually get a sticker. Not right now, though, because we're not shipping stickers. It's part of our Adafruit Live series of shows. JP has his show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch and learn all these things that I'm about to show you. This is a preview. So take it away, JP.
For our kitchen science experiment, we have the Barbecue, which is showing 2 temperature probes that are wireless Bluetooth temperature probes. One is boiling at 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit. This is plain water. This one has a whole bunch of salt in it, and so its boiling temperature is raised to 217.4 Fahrenheit or 103 Celsius.
And tomorrow you can expect to see a full show with Make Code stuff and more. We just finished the Make Code newsletter. If you haven't already, go to adafruitdaily.com and sign up for the Make Code newsletter. We do it once a month. We're up to like 1,400 subscribers already, so it went by fast. So we're going to do like 1,000 thanks. And if you have a Circuit Playground Express, go to makecode.adafruit.com, plug it in, and you'll be able to instantly drag and drop some programming and more. It is a good time and a good opportunity, especially if you have one, or you can get one from DigiKey, to teach kids how to code.
That's right. It's fun, and like every time we have teachers, students, workshops that have Circuit Playground Expresses, they say they can't get them to stop. So if your kids are not actually paying attention to the Zoom classes, because who is, You might as well give them some circuit playgrounds, and maybe they'll learn something about coding or lights or
Yep.
programming, and have some fun, and they can build that 20-second wash timer. It's a good first project.
And here's last week's Make Code Minute. JP, take it away, and I'll see you on the other side.
So for the Make Code Minute today, what I want to talk about is creating a animation function for a light pulse, which we can then control the color of using a button on the Circuit Playground Express. So here you can see I've got my Circuit Playground Express, and it is pulsing this nice little pulse animation in a single color, and it's just changing the brightness right now. When I press the button, the A button here, I'll get a different color, and it's a randomly selected color. So the way that I'm doing this inside of Make Code, on start, I'm using this set all pixels to, and I'm using hue, saturation, and value, which is easier than red, green, blue for this sort of thing, because I'll be able to randomize just the hue value later when I want to change colors. So at first we'll get a particular color here, kind of a reddish color. And then for my forever loop, I'm calling a function that I made called light pulse, and I'm giving it a value of 128. So if we look at this function, what the function does is it brings in whatever that number is that I sent along with the call to the function, and I'm calling that a variable named max, which is an integer value. What happens is I loop through twice. The first time I loop through, I run a value of 0 to whatever that maximum number is. So that's essentially going to be the highest level of brightness we get to. So we're going to go once through and set the brightness of the neopixels to 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 128. Then we go through and do it backwards. So I'm setting the brightness to whatever that max value is minus the index number, which will go 0, 1, 2, 3 up through. So it'll essentially decrease that brightness. Then to change the colors, I click the button. What happens is it sets a variable I created called hue to a number between 0 and 255 using this random block. Then it sets all the pixels to that hue, and then I'm also logging that inside of the console. And so that is a way that you can use Make Code to create your own custom animation cycle with a random color input inside of Make Code. And that is your Make Code Minute.
All right, JP's workshop tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. JP's doing a mini show and tell afterwards. Learn how to make all this stuff, the barbecue, and more. All right, here we go. So we have a Python on Hardware newsletter that we do every single week, and the team is taking it over while I am diverted on some other stuff. And I have to say, it is fantastic. On top of that, Kattni does a video recap of the Circuit Python newsletter, and here it is.
It's awesome. Take it away, Kattni.
Hello again. This is Kattni with your weekly Python on Hardware news. Every week we put together the Python for Microcontrollers newsletter. It is available through adafruitdaily.com. Head over there to sign up and see all of the past and current newsletters, or tune in each week to hear what's going on. Adafruit is continuing to operate as an essential business under New York City executive order to provide assistance with the COVID-19 outbreak. Most employees are working remotely, while a few are working in the Adafruit factory to help manufacture and ship desperately needed PPE to the surrounding area. This week, Adafruit received a literal ton of plastic, so the Adafruit team and teams around New York City can continue manufacturing face shields for the New York City area and beyond. Thank you to Novalex for the donation. Noah and Pedro have been 3D printing headbands for face shields and shipped a set to Adafruit, where the team added the plastic shields and readied them for distribution. For more information and photos, check out the Adafruit blog and social media to find the latest updates. In the world of Python on Hardware news, CircuitPython 5.1.0 stable was released this week. It features Microlab, a NumPy-like fast vector module that allows for performing mathematical operations 10 to 50 times as fast as CircuitPython alone, and fstrings, a more convenient way to build strings dynamically. These new features are enabled on nearly all the CircuitPython compatible boards except those with SAMD21 microcontrollers. It also includes 2 new CircuitPython compatible boards and various bug fixes. Check out the blog for more details and visit circuitpython.org to download it. A group of Stanford University computer science instructors are coming together as an active community service to offer their teaching services free of charge for people who want to learn introductory coding in Python. The course runs from April 13th to May 22nd and is available to those with no programming experience and time to dedicate to learning. The student application deadline is April 8th. The learning experience, called CS106A, Code in Place, will be an introductory programming course using the Python language, using material from the first half of Stanford University's established intro course. Code in Place requires no previous background in programming, just a willingness to work hard and a love for learning. Adafruit hardware is now being certified as open source. Adafruit is an open source hardware and software company. The Open Source Hardware Association provides a certification process, the results of which offer an easy and straightforward way to indicate that your hardware meets a standard for open source. To that end, we've been working on submitting certification applications for Adafruit hardware to OSHWA. We've submitted a significant number of applications, and we're super excited to announce that the first approvals have been granted. This week, 15 new boards were certified, all CircuitPython compatible microcontrollers. Check out the OSHWA Certified Projects directory for all the details. The Circuit Brains Deluxe by Null Byte Labs LLC has gone live on CrowdSupply. Circuit Brains Deluxe is the smallest solderable Atmel SAMD 51 castellated module on the market at 29mm by 29mm. They've taken care of the tough work of pin mappings, power and decoupling layout, clock, flash, assembly, bootloader, and firmware. The core of Circuit Brains Deluxe is the Atmel SAMD 51J19 Cortex-M4 microcontroller, and it ships with CircuitPython. Check out the campaign on CrowdSupply for more details. Sean Heimel shows how to build a temperature logger with the Adafruit Feather STM32F405 Express and the PCT2075 Stemma temperature sensor. Learn how to read data from analog sensors using an MCP3008 with a Raspberry Pi and the Adafruit CircuitPython library using Adafruit Blinka. Unlock 4 mysteries of the use of self in Python with a thorough post on Medium, including examples. Send emails using Python with a tutorial and accompanying YouTube video, including using a secure connection and Python's built-in SMTP-lib to send basic emails. Learn how to create a virtual on-screen keyboard using Python and tkinter. Drew posted slides from a presentation he gave on MeGen, LiteX, and how Python is useful for chip design. Esden live-streamed how LiteX, based on MeGen, lets you use the power of Python for FPGA design. Sophie designed a dodecahedron made of custom-milled PCBs with 55 neopixel LEDs, all running CircuitPython. Create your own Godzilla monster light-up hand-washing sign in this Instructables posted by Caitlin's dad. The tutorial includes multiple examples of easily adding LEDs to different types of projects. Meet Alice, a Kinect-controlled FPV mini-tech powered by CircuitPython on an Adafruit Feather. In the virtual RepRap Festival 2020, user Rennie Tinkerdork prints 3D frames and embellishes them with electronics. This one uses a Feather M4, Data Logger Featherwing, and DotStar and NeoPixel LEDs. In his Friday Fun blog post, Les P posts a series of free projects to do while you're at home, all from his Pi user section of Linux Format magazine, including hacking Minecraft, creating GUI apps, and using Dropbox to share sensor data. RK Blog posts a tutorial on thermal printers for makers and programmers, covering a number of different thermal printers and including a section on CircuitPython compatibility. Diode Magazine posts part 1 of a series on learning MicroPython on the microbit. Learn the basics of MicroPython on the microbit and how to create some cool electronic gadgets along the way. Creatronics posted a tutorial on using MicroPython on the Firebeetle ESP32 microcontroller board. Learn how to connect and get data from an MLX90393 magnetometer with an Adafruit Feather M0 running CircuitPython on the Learn MicroPython website. Check out learnmicropython.com for that and many more examples. This week, one new board was added to CircuitPython, the Seed Studio Xiao. If you are interested in adding a new board to CircuitPython, check out the Adafruit Learn system for a series of guides on getting your board added to CircuitPython and CircuitPython.org. There were 3 new Learn guides this week. First up, Melissa put together an epic guide on adding a single board computer to Blinka. Blinka allows you to use the CircuitPython libraries with various single board computers, but there are so many out there that not all of them are included. If your favorite one is missing, there is now a guide to walk you through how to get it added. Kevin documented a project demonstrating plotting the Clue's wide variety of onboard sensors and analog input pads using CircuitPython and Display.io. And John Park wrote up a guide including creating a no-touch hand wash timer with Clue, Display.io, and CircuitPython. We added 2 new CircuitPython libraries to the bundle this week, BLE MIDI and IBBQ, bringing us to a total of 224 CircuitPython libraries. Head over to circuitpython.org/libraries to download the latest bundle. A couple of updates from the CircuitPython team this week. Jeff has made progress on Protomatter and currently has it working on the NRF52840. It is adapted to work with Display.io. He's still dealing with a memory issue that has been difficult to sort out, but is making headway. Melissa published the aforementioned Learn Guide and then turned her attention to CircuitPython.org to add a few updates, including adding a date sorting feature so boards can be sorted by the date they were added. This allows you to find new boards more easily. The PyCon 2020 team announced planned talks, tutorials, posters, and much more available online. To participate, visit the PyCon US 2020 remote page and subscribe, or subscribe to the PyCon US 2020 YouTube channel. They are aiming to begin releasing content around April 15th when the conference was scheduled to begin. And that is your Python hardware news for this week. Go to Adafruit Daily to subscribe to the newsletter or tune in again next week.
All right, and that is Python on hardware for the week. I want to do a special thanks to Anne and the entire CircuitPython team, and also Kattni, because I know what it takes to make things like this because I do it every week besides now. So I know the love and care and attention to detail that you need, and the amount of okay, I have to remember 50 things at once and do voiceover and get this video in the right format.
And make it sound smooth and natural.
And know all the material. Yeah. So thank you so much, Kattni, because it saves us a lot of time so we can work on the things that we have to work on. Help wanted. There are some jobs on the jobs board, jobs.adafruit.com. There's also companies that are posting up things. But during this time, I just want to remind everyone, there's lots of things that we can all do. The number one thing, if you don't have to go anywhere and you're not an essential worker,
don't.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home, because the sooner we all stay home and flatten this curve, the sooner we can go back to doing what we all want to do. But this is when it matters the most. So stay home. Now, if you are someone who is doing essential work, or if you're someone who's volunteering, or if you have a 3D printer, what I would suggest is take a look at the show and tell we just had and look what Richard did. Richard is working on a design with the local hospital, doing cloth mass deliveries and drop-offs, and being able to do things. There is roles for people to do things who want to do things, especially if you don't have any comorbidities, you don't have any pre-existing conditions, if you live by yourself, if you're very isolated already, and you can go and do something and come back. If there's there are things that the cities and states need.
And they'll say so.
If you can donate blood, donate blood.
Yeah, they need blood.
That's one of the things.
Check out your local hospital system. I've seen in a lot of states and cities, there's a website for each hospital, and they'll say what they need donations of, what kind of PPE they're looking for. Maybe you have N95 masks or gowns or rubber gloves that they need. It's different for every system, right? Just what New York City needs is not necessarily what Boston needs.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I think is helpful too. If you see someone lashing out online, or if it's a friend and they're acting weird, they're saying things on online chats, or they're tweeting erratically, call them up on the phone and talk to them. Give them a chance to, we all going to need to lean on each other. Not everyone has mental health care or health care. Maybe talk to them. I had a conversation with someone today who was kind of spinning out on Twitter, and my thought was, now's not the time to name and shame. Now's the time to come together, and who cares what someone else is doing? Let's all focus on what we can do, and let's move forward. And if someone had disagreements in the past, you know what? I promise you we'll be angry.
Put that on hold.
We'll be angry with each other later. It'll be back to grudges later. But right now, just drop it. So I think that's one of the things that we can all do. If you see someone who's, we're all processing this in different ways. I'm using the phone more often than I ever have, because I'm talking to people, and I understand email's not a good medium sometimes, and I hope they can hear it in my voice. It's like, we can get through this. There's a path. We can do this, but we really do need everyone. It's not going to just be a few people getting everyone through. We need everyone to help get everyone through.
This is a huge team effort.
Yeah. We can go back to being jerks later, but not right now.
And if you don't want to help, stay home.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
This certainly is like, just stay home.
And the other thing is, if you need engineering assistance, we have that. So I wanted to put that out there.
It's time travel.
Time travel. So a few things going on. Yeah.
Times are super weird now.
Yeah. So first up, if you go on our blog, we have a post about the Paycheck Protection Program loan. So we're being completely transparent, like we always do. So we applied for this. Our bank is Chase.
Yeah.
We have not heard back yet. We have an idea that they've received the application. Adafruit has never taken a loan. We've never gotten a tax break. We've never gotten a grant. We didn't even get turned into a woman-owned company certification because we made too much money and we have too many employees. We've never received anything from anyone. I did get before this pandemic, I got into a scoldy argument with someone because they said, well, Adafruit's always getting like free money from the government because you're woman-owned. I'm like, no. In fact, it's harder to be a woman-owned company. So we applied, and if we get it, great. If there is low interest or no interest loans, that just means
to help us.
That means that we can keep paying everyone for as long as possible. We're not going to die without it, but eventually we would, so we're asking. So we'll see how that goes. We're also applying for some other things. We've not heard anything back yet. We're taking screenshots every step of the way. We're talking to our bankers. There is one thing that Stella, our CFO, noticed. And by the way, if you see Stella in the chats, which she is on Discord, please tell her thank you. Stella managed to build an Adafruit that can get us to survive. She's doing banking and spreadsheet gymnastics at midnight. I can work a long
Non-stop.
period of time. I can't keep up with Stella. I crashed out and died. I had to hand the phone to Lady Ada. I got so dizzy from being away for so long, I just passed out. But Stella was there, and she was able to complete one of these application things.
I know it was because everyone in the world. It's like basically like Ticketmaster, but even worse. Everyone in the world who has Chase, and Chase is one of the biggest banks in America, all applying at once.
And most of all, from our contractors to our internal team members to even the cleaning crew that's an outside company, we're still paying. That's happening because Stella is making those payments. So thank you, Stella. So one thing I did notice on the Chase PPP application, it has this little thing. So anyone who gets this loan, you know what they're supposed to do?
Yeah.
When possible, buy American products. So
Which we do,
which I'm not worried about us.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you're a company and you're getting one of these loans and you've been like, oh, I'll save $1 on Alibaba or, AliExpress, which you never do anyways for electronics, maybe consider buying something from Adafruit with all this, PPP money that you're getting when we're back. Just saying, if you're, an educational company that buys electronics, maybe spend some of that money when you're all finished with stuff, when you have to buy supplies again on Adafruit.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
Maybe it's a good time to start doing that. So we're documenting that and more. Other things going on. TJ McHugh wrote a nice article and included Adafruit in it. It's over on Supply Frame Hardware. Make Magazine had a great article about what Adafruit and other companies are doing. We happen to have the Adafruit poster with Lady Ada on it from Make Magazine when Lamore was on the cover. And we also had a face shield that we made. So I put that there and I took a photo.
I'm safe.
In the world of open source hardware, we're an open source hardware company, there are a few things going on. A long time ago, Command Line Heroes from Red Hat came in and interviewed Lady Ada, they interviewed Aya Badir, they interviewed Alicia from the Open Hardware Summit and the Open Source Hardware Association, and that is now released. It's about almost an hour altogether with the two podcasts they have, but it's the history of open source hardware, the summit, and more, and it was a fantastic interview.
Yes. This is in the before times, and it popped up now.
Back when we did conferences.
I'm excited.
So if you ever wanted to have like the inside scoop of how the Open Source Hardware Summit came about, how Lady Ada got involved with open source hardware, where the other efforts went or didn't
Yeah.
go. Tune in, command line heroes. Also, I'm going to try to keep track of all the ventilators that use Adafruit hardware. This is a Itsy Bitsy.
Yeah, there's like a itsy bitsy M4. It looks like.
Yeah.
It's cute.
There's now hundreds, so I can't keep track of all of them, but what a great problem to have. A lot of these that are being prototyped and then going off and being tested are using our stuff. That's some of the stuff that we're making and shipping instantly for essential business needs. We have 2,174 guides.
That's right.
Lady Ada, what is on the big board this week?
Okay, so we've got that guide from, and Pedro will show the video, Brent with the code for a wearable continuous temperature monitor. So a handy way to measure body temperature in your armpit and either store it on the clue board or a feather board or Itsy Bitsy NRF52840, or send it to Adafruit.io for long-term data plotting, analysis, and graphing. We've got from Aaron St. Blaine, your very easiest, first, simplest way to get glowing with NeoPixels. Like, you've seen these glow LEDs, you want to use them, but you're scared, you don't know what a compiler is. No problem. This guide is the easiest possible beginner guide for NeoPixels. Once you're good at that, though, you can step it up and build Richard A's CircuitPython connected weather cloud lamp. This lamp connects to the internet, gets open weather map data, so what the weather is going to be in your location over the next 24 hours. And then the cloud itself is either like yellowish for sunny, or like white when it's cloudy, or like has little blue sparkles when it's rainy, or it can even do thunderbolt like flashes. And it has speakers as well. So it's a full audio visual project for you to build a ambient weather display in a cloud. People love these; they're so cute, and you can hang it from your ceiling. Colin is at home, staying at home, and he wants some.
Actually, Colin's
actually
came in to make face shields, and the Adafruit employee that was in the Wall Street Journal, if you look close,
That's right.
was Colin.
That's right.
But you can't really tell because he had a hat, mask, and glasses.
Yeah, I know, same.
But
from behind you can see he's got like
underneath that helpful helper was Colin. So I'm like, hey, look, Colin's in the Wall Street Journal.
So he made this little creative inspiration activity generator. So he really likes like the Brian Eno like inspiration cards, like the oblique strategy. So this is kind of a similar idea. There's 3 sets of words, like adjectives and nouns, and every time you press a button, it'll pick a random element and give you some, inspirational ideas, like a drawing about prom acting or a song about a danger robot. See, this is kind of cool. And of course, you can customize the words. It's all written in CircuitPython. It's a great beginner project and looks super fun to build as well. Maybe inspire your next TikTok. And Carter, also, we wrapped up a guide on using the Rockblock Iridium modem. If you want to send data from anywhere in the world, literally everywhere in the world, you can do that using the Iridium satellite system.
What happened?
Oh, do you mind clicking on the
Sorry.
rock block? That's fine.
I had to go to the other thing, but I'm back now.
Can you click on the rock block?
Right.
There you go. So if you're Blika and you're in North America and you want to send a message to somebody in Europe, you don't want to use a cellular network, you don't want to use Wi-Fi, you want to use satellites, geosynchronous satellites, the Rockblock modem is a pretty inexpensive way to do that. You can send chunks of data, and this guide goes through how to use it with CircuitPython. And also with Raspberry Pi. So if you want to send Raspberry Pi data over cellular or receive it, and if you want to log that data, let's say you're reading temperature data, humidity data, you want to plot that, he also shows you how you can send that data to Adafruit.io for long-term plotting and data analysis. So it's like a real full guide on, you want to attach these to like an orca, you want to put these in the North Pole. Whatever you want to do, you can get that data and then graph it and display it anywhere in the world. It's very exciting.
Okay, so more guides ahead. I'm in New York City. It's time for some Adafruit factory footage. We are still manufacturing some things. We are still doing some things. We also have some scenes around New York. So first up, this is Vance. And Vance was making some of the 3D printed face shields. Those are the different ones that we're doing. These are small runs that Noah and Pedro are sending up to us, and then we're donating those. And this is from a doctor. These are amazing. Thanks you so much for getting these to me. I handed them over to our amazing ER residents for use. They love the pink variation. I'll get them to take some pictures if they're willing to send them to you. The adjustable strap and is much more comfortable. And you guys are the best. So
Nice.
Thank you, Vance, for doing that. We have these fever scanners. These are very specifically tuned devices, so you can, from a distance, see someone's temperature. It does work. I have a demo of how we're modding these to work with one, not be Chinese language, but two, do a little bit more and different things with it. So here's a video that we shot just, it feels like a week ago, but I think it was yesterday. Okay, this is what we're working on. These are high-speed fever screeners, and right now it's kind of like this nice standalone thing on a tripod. These go at the openings of an office, restaurants, you name it, and we're going to do a test because we just got everything working, and I have a new sound that'll play when it detects something. So because neither one of us have a fever, but we do have lunch, so let's see what happens when it sees Lady's lunch.
High temperature detected. Please proceed to secondary temperature fever screening. High temperature detected.
All right.
Please proceed to
Okay, now you have to go take that broccoli for secondary.
I know.
Yeah.
Delish.
Yum. Okay, and so as you can see, this is it here. I'm going to go to the overhead, and I'll show you what the screen has. And you can see this is the, there's no temperature right here, but then Lady Ada will put a Lady Ada hand in there, and
You
then
see
you
my
can
temperature?
see my
96,
temperature.
97.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. And then one thing, because we tested up a lot of these, so why don't you focus it on me
Yeah.
and tell me what it's reading off.
Okay. It says you're 97.8.
Now I have a very small one that's very accurate, 97.6. So
Within 0.2 degrees
0.2,
Fahrenheit, which is like pretty much as good
and
as
these
you
can
get.
go,
This is like 30 feet up to?
10,
30
yeah,
feet?
can. And like when you see that flash, it's when it's pointed at something hot up there.
Well, we
right
have
now.
these computers and screens,
Yeah,
so there's
and
a
I'll-
lot of hot stuff here.
Yeah, and so these are very handy. This is part of our return to workforce tool set that we'll have at the door. We'll make sure that it's something that we know it doesn't stop anything. It's just one layer, and it also makes people think about their temperatures.
Yeah. Fever screening is just one part of a safer
Yeah.
workplace.
And one of the things that we're doing is allocating enough of these and also some other thermometers. So every Adafruit team member has one at home. Every Adafruit team member has their temperature at work, and we'll just continue to do this. CDC, right when we're on air, launched new guidelines. Basically, they're saying even if someone in an essential workplace tests positive, they're saying that doesn't matter now. You don't isolate everyone. If you're not symptomatic, it's okay because
No.
that the things are changing so fast. So my opinion is assume everyone has it always,
That's right.
forever, and have gloves, masks, do sanitary procedures, take everyone's temperature before they
Yeah.
leave the house, when they get there. And that is the way we can function barely right now as a society to keep things going and help people. But it's also going to be part of the new normal.
Yeah.
So let's.
No, agreed.
Yeah, so that's the way to go. Vance, packing it up.
Yep.
This is some of the plastic we cut for the face shields. This is some of the different models and variations we've been doing. This is them laid out before they get sterilized and put in a bag. This is us doing a photo shoot here at the apartment
We're gonna talk
for
about this product
some of the
soon.
things. This is every business on our way to Adafruit and back. This is Lady Ada and I going down the street. We test all of the PPE and also urban commuter things, just like this that we're talking about. We test these before we would even put them in the store. They work great. They're really good for commuting. We use them. This is Lady Ada in a mask at Adafruit empty. This is me spying on her and doing a selfie in front of it. This is Lady Ada doing some testing. This is the machine line. More Lady Ada processing some purchasing. This is disinfecting some stuff. This is more empty machines. This is us fooling around because sometimes we go a little crazy. This is me getting a Wriggle oscilloscope out within an hour for the folks over at New Labs who are doing some ventilator stuff. They needed it fast. We got it out to
Came by,
them
picked
with
it up.
less than 40 minutes
Yeah.
at night. This is some empty shelving. So empty Adafruit with full shelving. And then if you look close in the back, that's Kristen, who's working in shipping solo. We have some other photos and more that we've been...
You've collected all these mannequin heads, and it's like these. You've totally.
I've
You're
been
waiting for this moment.
I've been waiting for this. And then last up, here's a screenshot from our weekly all-company State of the Fruit. So we've done State of the Fruit for, I don't know, about a decade. And it's everybody in the company is invited. We usually do it at 5:30 on Fridays, but now we do it virtually. And people come by, we record it, they can watch it later. And this is just a screenshot. This is Jessie May. I believe Jessie May is in the behind-the-scenes Slack.
yay.
And I want to say, one, thank you, Jessie May, for all your work. But also, it is always delightful to talk to Jessie May. She is fantastic. She always inspires me to be a good person.
She has such a good heart.
So thank you, Jessie May, just for being you. And that is the Made in New York City factory footage for the week. 3D printing. All right.
Extruding.
We have one video that Noam Pedro did. This is the armband temperature sensor with Adafruit IO. And
Yep.
then we're going to do a speed up. We're going to play them back to back, and I'll see you on the other side.
Later.
Hey, what's up folks? In this project, we're building an IoT wearable temperature monitor. We designed this to be a hands-free portable device that monitors your temperature. The armband is 3D printed in flexible filament and features the MCP9808 temperature sensor. This continuously monitors your body's temperature during the day or while you sleep. With Adafruit IO, you can track your data for long-term storage and visualization. You can plot your data using line charts so you can see your temperature change over time. Using Adafruit IO triggers, you can get an email notification if your temperature gets too high. This uses the Adafruit Feather NRF52840 so you can recharge the battery over USB. In the sketch, you can change the temperature values and use either Fahrenheit or Celsius. The code was written by Brent Rubel and it's available on GitHub. Check out the Learn Guide for a full step-by-step tutorial with build photos. It walks you through setting up your dashboard and uploading the code with Arduino. We think this is a nice way to combine your BLE devices with IoT projects. The CAD assembly uses 3D models of Adafruit parts that are available to download from GitHub. The design features sketches and user parameters so it's easy to make adjustments. You can get the parts to build this project, links are in the description. The parts are secured without any screws and the case is designed to snap fit. With a built-in slide switch holder, you can easily turn the device on and off. To see the LED indicators through the case, we use translucent PLA filament. The device easily slides over your arm and it can be tightened using the flexible strap. The sensor is worn facing outwards and it should be placed underneath your armpit. You can monitor your dashboard with your mobile device so you can keep track of your temperature while you're at work or while you're sleeping. Thanks so much for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more IoT projects from Adafruit.
And don't forget 3D Hangouts every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. with Noah and Pedro. They also do a show and tell supplementary special edition that you can tune into. Okay, next up. So before we go over to INPI, I wanted to first thank DigiKey for all their help and support during this. They were on my speed dial and I said, here's what we're doing in Adafruit. Here's what we need some help with. and what can you do? And not only have they been able to get us components for mission critical essential needs from parts that we need to make some of these ventilator components and more, but just being there is a great partner and great friend. So what they showed during the show and tell was this project. This is a drone outside of DigiKey. So they have of course, smaller number of people there. They have very intense protocols to keep everyone safe. And this was a really neat thing to see, the circuit playground powered with NeoPixels.
Like 30 circuit playgrounds.
And you can see, they have an enormous facility, and you can even see the sign from there. But this is the DK Strong sign that Kevin and the team made, and you can see those big DigiKey signs on there. And this is out of Thief River Falls, Minnesota.
Still have snow on the ground.
Still have snow on the ground and more. So thank you, DigiKey, for all of that and more. It's time for Eye on MPI, brought to you by DigiKey and Adafruit.
Eye on MPI.
That's right.
It's an amazing song.
Okay, what are we doing on Eye on MPI this week?
Okay, we actually have a topical Eye on NPI this week. So we've covered all sorts of chips and wireless sensors and all that good stuff, but I want to actually break it down to something really basic, which is alarm systems. The reason I thought this was interesting is we've been chatting with and working with some groups of people who are doing, medical design, ventilator designs, and one of the requirements for medical equipment is it has to have alarm systems. It has to have a way of telling people that something went wrong.
Yeah,
unplugged.
When you see the kind of the intense videos of doctors in the ER that are like talking to like MSNBC or CNN, and they're live, you can hear all the beepings going on, because it's ventilators in the background, and the alarms are going off because that's what they're doing.
Yeah, people,
it's alarming.
If something goes wrong, but especially if like power is cut, somebody trips over, or they move a wheelchair, somehow they maybe snag a power cord or something, the device gets unplugged. There's battery backup, but that battery backup only runs for a few minutes. It needs to alert people, and especially in industrial or medical situations, it can be incredibly loud, right? It's already very loud. So a lot of people will use like little piezos for their projects with Arduinos, and you send a square wave to them and they go beep beep, little beeping sound like your alarm clock, and those are great for little projects. But when you're dealing with industrial equipment, medical equipment, you need something really loud. Coincidentally, this week, DigiKey and CUI, which make all sorts of speakers and connectors and stuff, came up with a new series, a CPS series of sirens. And these are like incredibly adorable. So this is like a little siren. You can see the speaker output. Inside is a piezo disc. It even has a little mounting plate here. And this version, oh, thank you. Let's sort of see it. This version has a little mounting zone here, and you can tune it. And then this version, which I really liked, is you just drill a gigantic hole in your wood panel, and you just plug this in. And what I like about these sirens is, first off, they're really lovely designs because they're like enclosed. I like that they're solid. They're kind of splash proof, not waterproof, but at least they're not exposed piezo discs. And you get just power and ground, and inside there's the PWM piezo driver that makes them beep. Now I'm actually not going to turn these on, and the reason I'm not going to turn these on is these are like 100 to 120 dB, which is the same volume of like a police siren, but it would only be 5 inches away from you from this microphone, and I really don't want to hurt your hearing. So not going to turn these on, but just believe me, they are incredibly loud and painful and will totally blast through whatever background sounds you have in your factory or in your facility. And especially what I think is important about these sirens is because they're just power and ground, you can use them as part of a safety interlock. Because usually when you have an audio system built into your microcontroller or microcomputer, you have I2S out, you have a DAC, you have PWM, but you have to have that operating system, that microcontroller running to make that audio sound, that verbal spoken effect or those beeps. What's nice about these is that it can be completely analog driven, relay driven, reed switch driven. Somebody opens something, it turns on, and you don't have to worry about like some software system that has its own alarm, perhaps. This is an incredibly useful backup. that you don't have to worry about like, oh, my Linux kernel crashed or my watchdog timer went off on the microcontroller. These, you power them, they make an ear-splitting siren. That's it. Very simple, very effective, and only a couple bucks. So check them out. There's a variety of different sizes and styles. They're all available from DigiKey.
Right, and
This is the part number.
This is the part number. You'll also see this in our post tomorrow. You can also search for it on the DigiKey site. But this is the 102 CPS 7560 11OL450 and
ND.
So
that's this one, which I like. But you can see, they're not too big, but they are loud as heck. So a great way to very easily add a good-looking alarm system to your project.
Yeah. And that is this week's Eye on MPI.
Eye on MPI.
All right, believe it or not, we have new products this week. We're still
That's
doing
right.
this. All right, so all right.
Never stopping.
So just a reminder, we have gift certificates. If you want to support Adafruit, please do. You can get them now, spend them later. We have Adafruit IO Plus accounts. We have AdaBox. And then for the folks out there that are looking for logistics, engineering, manufacturing, R&D, we are doing some bits of that as well. First up on new products of the week.
Okay, so we've got a pulse oximeter. We had one last week, so you're probably like, what's new about this one? Well, this one's got Bluetooth. If you zoom in, you can see a little B Bluetooth icon.
B is for Bluetooth.
B is for Bluetooth. So actually, we started this project to make a Bluetooth oximeter library for CircuitPython many months ago. And we were like, oh yeah, we will have no problem getting pulse oximeters. And now you can't get pulse oximeters. So we put it in as a coming soon. We have them on order. What's nice about these is they have a documented Bluetooth protocol that can send the pulse rate and pulse oximeter data, again, for data logging or analysis, or if you want to send it over Wi-Fi or something. So a lot of cool biohacking projects that we've been meaning to get to, we're going to get to. So if you are looking for a pulse oximeter with Bluetooth that you can actually get data out of, sign up and you'll get notified when this is in stock.
Okay, next up. This is another face shield that we're now stocking, or will be able to stock soon. So I should be super clear about these. These are not the ones that we make at Adafruit. We are a reseller of these. They're still going to be super cheap. These are not 3D printed. They are a very simple and quick and basic design, basically disposable.
Although you can clean them off. I will say what's nice about this is it has anti-fog plastic on it. Do you mind passing me the fun head?
Yeah, I am going to get the fun head.
Thank you.
So fun head, yeah, Lady Ada and I, we've had a conversation in the past. She's just like, oh, so you bought another head. And
it definitely was okay, there's 8 heads.
I have a few of these, and I have a glass head at the office that we put NeoPixels in. But this is now our photo model, and this is the...
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Fred. But
how do you know it's not Fred?
I don't know. That's true. You can't.
Okay, so try blowing onto it to fog it up. Yeah, see, doesn't fog.
Yeah.
Which is something you'll notice very quickly, by the way, when you're wearing masks and these commuter hats. Is stuff fogs up. So these have anti-fog, but we want to have a version that we could also get to first responders, people working in the city, and New York. So we're going to be sending these out to people. So sign up. We'll notify you when they're available for general purpose purchasing. Okay.
So that's the face shields.
Yes.
And one other goal that we have is, of course, we're taking care of everyone in New York City, New York State. We also want to make sure this goes to people on the front lines at grocery stores, people who interact with the public. I want to ask our local post office if they need these. So we're going to try to make sure that we do our best to keep everybody safe. And the fact that we're a logistics company and we're a supply company and we can even manufacture some of these, we can get some of these to sell, we're doing that. Next up.
Okay. Non-contact thermometer. So you're probably starting to see these. Another very handy fever scanning device because you don't have to stick something in somebody's ear or mouth or whatever. These non-contact temperature scanners that you saw Phil demo. We have one here, one model. And I can show it on the overhead.
Yeah, let's
What's
go
nice,
to the overhead.
What's nice about these is that, again, they're non-contact, so inside there's a little thermo scanner, like a little IR temperature meter, and it's calibrated for humans so that, you know, you're like a couple inches away, you point this at somebody, like I can point it at my hand, it'll say 97.5 degrees, and then if I point it at something warm or something cool, like maybe I'll point it at this.
Let me point it at this hot Mac.
Okay, let's point it at this hot Mac. Okay, it's like, oh my goodness, you're 106 degrees.
That's what it looks like running video software.
Yeah.
My MacBook has a fever, which is true, it does.
Yeah, so you can set these up to be in Fahrenheit or centigrade. You know, we're Americans, so we like Fahrenheit. But either way, and then, you know, there's basically limits for, you know, low or high is red, and then if you're within a safe human temperature range, it's green. These are very nice and precise. So, you know, if you want to very quickly scan a bunch of people, especially for workspaces or, you know, a hotel, or, you know, you have people, a lot of people coming into your
So just so everybody knows, I check Lady Ada's temperature every day because I have to make sure nothing happens to her.
I
I
know.
have to.
Safe.
So
Covered by
I do
what?
this every single day. And This
Okay.
is the one we use.
But these are really good for human temperature. We really like them.
All right, next up. Well, I guess I should start. Well, this is a photo of it with that head, the same head. But
Thanks, Fred.
we saw these online, and it was a group of travelers in like South Korea.
And you said, where can I
And
get
I
them?
said, I want that.
Yeah.
I need that, and my team needs that. And we commute, and other people commute, and this is what we need. And we got them. And
This is your little lazy
look,
Susan.
look.
No, it's working.
I could turn anything into a photo studio. You give me a potato, I could turn it into art. It's a John Lennon quote. So here's us. This is us walking. We can walk down the empty streets now. But we like these a lot, and we are using them and selling them.
Won't you grab? We have two hats here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Angel and Shipping has one. Our door guy at Adafruit has one, and then Lady Ada and I have these two. So it's great because you can put a mask on it.
Yeah.
It's fashionable.
It's soft.
It's soft. It doesn't fog up. And we did test out the ones that Velcro off the top, but it didn't really look good. And no matter what you did, it didn't fall the same. And I just didn't like it, so we're not going to stock this.
So yeah, these are not so great for indoor usage because it's not super clear. It's clear, but you get a little bit of reflection in them. But if you're just commuting, you're just hanging out on the bus or the train, and like I have totally been in that situation where I'm on like the N and I'm sitting down and there's somebody standing and they just like sneezed all over me.
Yeah, this is totally fine to wear from now on.
You can wear this.
Everyone
Cyberpunk
agrees
fashion.
you'll never be weird. In fact, when people see these, they're like, where can I get this?
Yeah.
And so, I'm still going to operate the show just for the next couple products, just to show you, like, I had to be able to do my full job and everything. Like Lady Ada said, they're not great for indoors, but I'm able to do it.
You can do it.
I think these are really good for commuting.
For commuting, they're great.
All right, next up.
Okay. We also have face masks in 2 sizes. And I thought I would show them off because we actually had a couple folks who work at Adafruit who said that, can you get masks but for small?
Yeah, we also
people? Small faces?
knew, kids are great, but they're super spreaders.
They're super spreaders.
So we wanted to make sure kids had masks.
Okay, so you can see this one, it's like 2 inches shorter. Other than that, it's the same, 3-ply material. It's got the little nose wire in the top, 2 ear bands. This is a little bit too small for me, but if you're like a young teen or younger, like 5 to 12, I think that this would probably fit them best. So you've got small sizes, and we'll chat about the large sizes in a minute.
Next up.
Okay, gowns. So we actually had a request from the city to stock medical gowns, so I think I'll show them off. So these are disposable, one-use gowns. Let me grab my scissors. So they come in like a sealed pack, and they come actually in packs of 4. They're not sold individually. And inside, it's a full gown. It even smells like a hospital. You unfold it. It's got these, breakaway ties on the back. It's a solid material. Like it's not Tyvek, but it's
Our
definitely
apartment
like,
is too small to zoom out, sorry.
yeah, to
That's what it is.
you can sort of see it. It's got on the arms, it's got little nice wrist elastics, so you can put your gloves under and over it. And yeah, you can be very fashionable. Hold on.
Well, just safer. I mean, one of the things that so we have a team member that's they're taking care of a relative that may be ill, and so I made sure we got them this right away. So yeah.
All right, so now this one, after you're done with it, check online. There's videos on how to carefully remove these. But especially if you're caring for someone who is sick, this is a nice protection. It goes over your clothes, and then you take it off, and you don't have to worry about contaminating yourself as much.
Yeah. I look at the old Ask an Engineer shows, and I look back in the past, and I'm always like, gee, I wonder what new product will be showing off next year around this time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even next year. I have no idea.
All right. Next up, we have some other masks.
These are one-off KN95. These are becoming very popular. They are not N95, so they're not. Now they're, for emergency use, they can be used by people who would normally need an N95. They filter 95% of particulate. They are pretty easy to put on. So thank you, Fred. So you have this cup.
Yeah. And don't worry, we're putting these on tonight. These are the ones that we're not going to put these in a box and send them off.
Not this one, because I can touch the whole thing anyway. But you put it on, ears over, and then you mold the wire piece over your nose to create a seal, and that's it. So you've got more mask protection. People have asked, especially those who are, again, essential workers, have to go to work. They want to have a filtering mask. Filters particles, but also keeps your sneezes and coughs and breathing and spitting from reaching other people. So it goes both ways.
Yeah. It's our family. We live together. We work together. All right.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah. All right, and then
yeah, this is made out of like melt blown material, so it's soft on the inside. You can kind of feel it has like two layers.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a water-resistant outer layer, kind of absorbing inner layer, and then the middle section is where actually the filtration happens. So.
All right, and
One-off
then
masks.
last night, the star of the show, besides all of the healthcare professionals and our team and our community and our customers, is face masks.
Yay! Also, we are getting these for a city, for workers, for people in New York who want disposable face masks. So these are surgical style. Compared to these respirator style. These are a lot more comfortable. These, they form a seal on your face. So they're a little tough to breathe in. Like, they're not trivial to breathe in because you have to filter your air through this thick material. I was going to cut this open so people can see the three layers. So there's the inner absorbing layer, the outer, protective layer, and then the inner, melt blown, complex nylon material that captures particles. So this is a very thick, you can see it's quite padded. Whereas these surgical masks, they're also 3-layer, but they're a lot lighter. So I thought I would cut this open to show people what it's like inside. Hold on. Do like this. So again, these are made out of 3 layers of material. And okay. So the outer layer is, water deflecting, so it keeps water from soaking into the mask from the outside. People spitting on you, not on purpose, but just they're breathing and coughing and sneezing. The inner layer is absorbent to keep, it absorbs water so that the center doesn't get wet, because as you speak, of course, your humidity of your breath, you want to make sure it wicks away. And then the middle part is a thinner version of that kind of filtering fabric. Instead of being super thick, though, it's a very thin material, and it's a non-woven polymer material. So you have these in the adult size and, of course, youth size. And then I can show how to put one on. Although for how to put one on like completely and remove it safely, we have a video. So. Put it over your face, you pinch the nose down, and then you pull this over your chin, and Now your sneezes and coughing and breathing will not get out.
Yeah, and
And these are very comfortable to wear.
the way to think about it is the mask that you wear is protecting someone else, and the mask that they're wearing is protecting you. So if we all do this, and now in many cities and states it's required, if you're out, you got to wear some clothing, some
Yeah.
face mask type thing. I think the cities are worried that they can't get these fast enough, so they're saying a bandana is fine. But this is going to be what we're all doing for a while.
Well, what's really
Get used
great is
to
that this is disposable. It's very low cost.
Yeah.
Use one, you wear it for 8 hours, and then when you're done, you hook under, and then you don't touch it. You throw it out, and then you wash your hands, and then you can just grab another one. So if you have a reusable mask, of course, where you can wash it, great. But sometimes it's not easy for you. You don't have laundry to easily wash it. These disposable masks are extremely comfortable. And they're very effective, and they're easy to wear.
All right.
Okay, that's a new product.
Okay, let's do a new product recap.
New
As
product
always,
recap.
we have gift certificates, we have Adafruit IO, we have Adabox, and we're doing engineering services.
We have a pulse oximeter with Bluetooth connectivity that's documented, so you can actually read that pulse oximeter and heart rate data from it. We have a off-the-shelf disposable face shield with anti-fog coating. We've got a non-contact thermometer, so you can take people's temperature without having to touch them, and it does a very nice job telling you if they're over temperature. This commuter hat, which is so fashionably modeled here by this head, is a very lovely little bucket hat, and it has a PVC front cover. You saw a photo of this, and you said, let's get these for ourselves, and we did, and then we decided to put them in the store. We have child-sized surgical style masks, so if you're a person with a small head, or you have a young person in your life who wants masks and the standard adult size is too large for them, these are just like 1 inch shorter. These disposable medical gowns are made out of like SMS material, so they can cover you if you're caring for someone who's sick, you want to protect your clothes. These disposable gowns are very similar to the ones used by doctors and nurses. So if you need them for your workplace or your home, you can pick up a pack. This KN95 respirator mask, it filters out particles, also keeps your sneezes and coughs from reaching other people. It's like a real air sealed filtration system, so it's a little bit difficult to breathe in. If you want something easier to breathe in, we have these disposable face masks, surgical style face masks, again in child sizes and adult sizes. You put it on, when you're done, you throw them out. They last 8 hours. They're very comfortable to wear, and they keep your sneezes from reaching other people and also keep you from touching your face.
Okay. So I was able to operate the show for that segment of time. So
While
I was doing
hat.
that. Okay, so we're going to answer questions and we're going to bounce. So start to head over to Discord, adafruit.it/Discord. Join all 17,000 of us. We're going to answer your questions. I think there was a couple people that had some questions queued up, and I will go over to the chats now. Okay, cool. So some folks are... yes, I do have a glass head we put NeoPixels in. Top
Yes, that's
correct
right.
on that. I gotta actually... Let me put a note to myself, because...
Gotta get the glass head?
So here's the thing. I don't keep all of the heads
No.
in our apartment.
No, they're scattered around the city.
I have some at the factory.
Yeah.
So I will get that glass head back. Glass head back. All right. Okay. Next.
Thanks, Dotbot.
Yeah. Someone says they predict clear shower curtain liners are going to be in short supply. Sad but true. I saw a lot of people were lined up for voting because, for whatever insane reason, some locations say you still have to line up and vote. So the people were making face shields on their own, using like the school clear binder things, and then like
Transparency sheets.
shower curtain things.
Yeah.
And like they're trying, they have bandanas and everything, but boy, it's really difficult to watch that. I do admire how people are like, I'm going to make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And that's you
just keep going.
Yeah, you keep going.
Human ingenuity.
Okay. How do you ensure that your LiPo battery supply of quality, given that you need quality, safe batteries to sell? Also, how do you deal with LiPo safe sales to adhere to shipping policies? I can answer that.
You know this answer.
So, well, we only buy batteries from places that have all the certificates that you need, all the certifications that you need, all
Yeah.
the safety requirements.
Testing
There's all the
requirements.
testing that you need. So we don't buy batteries from anyone else. We make sure that that's why they're not the cheapest, but they are.
But they're really good.
But they are really good. And then in order to sell LiPo batteries, our shipping team has to take certification tests. So we
Yeah.
are
It's like a
allowed.
class.
It's expensive and it's difficult and it's challenging, and our team does it. We have been asked by other people, how in the world do you do this? And I'm like, here's all the things. They're like, oh, that's too much work. We're not going to do it. So that's why we do it, because we like to do the things that are hard. The batteries that we ship, there's limits on the package. There's limits of the types. And you have to have special labeling. Trust me when I say you can't even do things like use a blue pen for when you sign your name or you have the phone number. It will get kicked back.
Nope.
So if that's not for you, don't even do it. But if that sounds like the challenge you'd like, you too can ship batteries, small amounts, documented,
And we've been
in
doing
certain
this
locations.
for a decade. We've really learned and done a great job, and all the
Yeah.
different kinds of batteries, and it's very complicated.
All right, someone would like to ask engineer what Adafruit products would be compatible with the Alexa Connect Kit ACK.
Probably like a Raspberry Pi or something.
Yeah,
You
they
could-
used our Blinka stuff for their docks and more. So anything that works with the Raspberry Pi, so all
Yeah. Pi 4.
the hats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should work.
yeah. We used we had we would say play cowbell. And
Yeah.
it would go bing, 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 and it would have the Christopher
Yeah.
Walken skit, and we were using Alexa
Yeah.
and their SDK for that. So okay, let's see. Yeah, I have a couple hits. Okay, any idea when the KN95 mask will be in stock? Well, here's how it's going to work out. We have to get some of these to our team members. We have to get these to New York City people. We have to get these to New York State people. And then we're going to have orders for everyone else. If you're in New York City, sign up. You'll be the first round to get an email when they're in stock. We are going to be very careful. We do not want people to buy these and put these on eBay or anything like that. We're going to make sure they're limited. So please be filled with empathy on this. Don't try to go in and buy them all. We're going to have limits, and we're going to make sure that this is for the people who need them on our team, the people who need it in New York City, the people who need it in New York State.
Don't
And
worry,
then-
we'll need this
and-
for a long time.
Yeah, we're trying to get a mass machine, but it's like $500,000. So we're trying to work out how that can happen. Okay, next up, let me go over to the other chat. Fix more LEDs. Can people with a non-technical background become an AI developer? Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually tons of online courses that are free even to learn AI and TensorFlow. So like Google search for TensorFlow for beginners, and
Yeah.
you just have a computer, you can run Colab, and you can do TensorFlow.
What's this week's promo code? There is no discount code, and in fact, I should make a code that adds like money.
Yeah,
Because
10% more.
Because I could tell you so for March our numbers were 50% lower, but we're still paying full everything for everyone, including no one's giving us a break. And then April it'll probably be at least like 80% because we're not selling anything to make money. We're selling essential goods, and we're giving away our time, and we're giving away things that we do sell. It's basically a cost. The electronics that we have and the components we have, we can't really do a discount right now. So maybe buy a gift certificate. Next up, when will AdaBox 15 ship? That's a good question. When will we all be able to return to work? When will we all be able to go to Broadway?
We love AdaBox, but it's not essential.
Yeah,
so
so-
it's got to wait.
Yeah, so we're working with a shipping provider that might be able to get it out sooner than later, but it will ship as soon as possible. Everyone will know. Please keep your AdaBox subscriptions. In the end, it's only going to be a few months difference. So if you can tolerate that and help support Adafruit, we very much appreciate it. Let's see. I think this might be it. Maybe don't post the same exact question on YouTube and Discord because I have to then read them twice. Okay. What do you guys think about Boink and folding at home?
I think if you got computing time, do the fold. I've never used Boink. I don't know what that is, but folding at
Yeah.
home, I think, people, there's a lot of math that people have to do to figure out these proteins and how they bond. And if folding at home is helpful, join a team.
It's better than doing Bitcoin shit.
That's true.
Sorry, Carson, but like, come on, like, what if we all like turn those Bitcoin computers a bit onto that? What if we optimize things for that? So instead of greed for a brief period of time, if we're gonna like blow all this power,
Yeah.
maybe right now just take a break, and then use it for this, and then go back to like your blockchain fantasies. But for now, maybe just tune it onto that. Don't
Take a
get me
break.
wrong. I think Bitcoin's cool,
What are you going to buy with Bitcoin anyways?
but not today. It's like that XKCD thing. It's like, tell me about the future. Does this Bitcoin thing work out? It's like, yeah. Oh, what can you buy with it? One roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that people can do. All right. Oh yeah, this is a cool LED face mask. People posted that up. Yeah, the SETI stuff. Just on a personal story, I
I
thought
think they stopped, didn't they?
they did. I thought
Yeah.
it was so cool
It was cool.
when I would have the SETI screensaver, and I was younger back then. It was just like, that is so neat because like maybe my computer will pick up the signal, or like maybe we can all get together and do that. And like, what an amazing thing it would be if aliens, saw and us and they decided to communicate. I think this crisis that I hope we don't go to waste. I hope this makes this a better civilization that aliens would want to talk to, because I would have probably driven by.
You just kept going.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what?
Next rest stop.
You know what? You have the friend who's like, I just can't hang out with you anymore. You're just, you got to get your shit together before I
That's
hang
right.
out with you.
When
So
they call, you leave them on read.
yeah. So all right. I think that's the show.
All right.
Any requests for the SEM next week for Adam?
Maybe a TFT display. That could be kind of fun. You can like, they have the little chips that are embedded in them. So you have a clue board. You can see a little chip in the display. That could be cool. Or the TFT mask itself. Why not?
Okay. If there's any more questions, hang out in Discord. Ask everyone. We're literally around 24/7 now. Sometimes we have to go to the factory, but a lot of us are there and can help out. Please help each other. That's the most important thing. I want to say once again, thank you to the doctors out there that are
Yay.
helping people.
The EMS workers, FDNY, NYPD. I mean, I listen on the radio, and it's nonstop.
Delivery people, grocery people, all the civil services, all the things that people are doing.
MTA workers.
And once again, thank you so much for Novalex, who delivered the plastic so we can make these things. Thank you so much. I'll probably just keep saying thank you till it's... I'm just going to keep saying it.
Thank you.
And we will see everybody next week. Show and Tell next week, 7 p.m. Ask an Engineer, 8 p.m. No Pedro Show next week, 11 a.m. Wednesday. JP Show tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Never
And
boring.
I think Scott's doing a few things.
Yeah.
The Ada News Network.
Beep, 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 beep.
Thank you so much to our team that's staying home, being safe. Our team that is coming in protected, making sure that they're following all the safety protocols to keep themselves safe, and also getting these essential goods out there. Thank you so much. Thank you all of our Adafruit community members, our Adafruit remote team members, Jesse May, who's in Slack, and I've done a ton of shout outs. Thank you everyone who's doing your small part, whatever it is, to get through this. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you soon. We'll be posting our photo journal up every single night. Probably not tonight. A little tired, and we have to do some work tonight. So that'll probably resume tomorrow. We'll see everyone next week. Here's your moment of Zener, and then afterwards I'm going to show the best of some of the photos we've been doing on our blog. Andrew Tingle, our photographer, has a little montage of some group photos over the years.
Thanks, everybody.
Here's your moment of Zener. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Stay safe.